Good morning, students. Today we are going to do some extra questions. In the previous video, we have already completed the word meaning and the question answers. Now we are going to begin with some extra questions of the chapter The Schoolboy. Let's begin with question number 1. What is the mood of the schoolboy? Answer: the mood of the schoolboy is unhappy. Okay? The mood of the schoolboy is unhappy. Now, the second question is, what makes the schoolboy unhappy? We have already discussed this while the explanation of the poem, the reason behind the schoolboy unhappiness. Okay? Answer: the schoolboy has to go to school even in a summer morning when there is so much to enjoy in the open fields and forest. Secondly, his teachers are cruel and the lessons are uninteresting. So students, this was the reason what makes the speaker, that is the schoolboy, unhappy. He wants to enjoy the nature, but what he has to do? He had to go to the school, which he doesn't like, which he doesn't enjoy. Okay? So please take down the screenshots. I hope all of you have taken down the screenshot. Okay, let's move on. Okay, now the question number 3. Question number 3 is, why does the schoolboy compares himself to a caged bird? The answer to this, why does the schoolboy compares himself to a caged bird? Write down the answer. Like a caged bird, the boy is also not free to do anything at his own will. Okay? Like a caged bird, the boy is also not free to do anything at his own will. He wants to lead a life. He wants to lead a life of freedom, but he can't because there are many restrictions on him. Okay, students. Like a caged bird, the boy is also not free to do anything at his own will. He wants to lead a life of freedom, but he can't because there are many restrictions on him. So, students, please take down the screenshot. I hope all of you are taking down the screenshot. Okay, students, let's move on to the next question. Question number 4. What is the poet's advice? Is the poet's advice to parents of school going kids. Okay? Answer to this would be the calls poet calls upon the parent. The poet calls upon the parents to let their child grow and play joyfully in early years. So, the poets call upon the parents to let their child grow and play joyfully in early years. They should not they should not restrict they should not restrict their natural activities. Okay, students, the poet call upon the parents to let their child grow and play joyfully in early years. They should not restrict their natural activities. We have already discussed about this in the poem, that what's what really the parents or the school is doing. They are just focusing on the studies of the child, and scheduling everything in a particular order, but forgetting that students needs to develop properly, not just studying, reading, and storing everything in their mind. For their full development, they need to enjoy their early years of childhood. Okay? Now, next question. I hope all of you have taken down the screenshot. Just a second. Okay, students, please take down the screenshot. Okay. Question number 5. Why does the schoolboy compares himself to a plant? Why does the schoolboy compares himself to a plant? Because students, the tender, because a tender plant, tender means a gentle plant, because a tender plant won't bear any, bear means carry, won't bear any flower or fruit if it is crushed. A tender plant won't bear any flower or fruit if it is crushed at the bud. That means if the bud of a plant is destroyed, uh, a plant wouldn't bear any fruit or flower. The bud is the important main thing in the plant. Similarly, आई होप आप लोगों ने नोटिस किया होगा आर पेरेंट्स ऑलवेज यूज टू टेल दैट डोंट टच द कली द बड ऑफ द प्लांट when it's growing because it would dry and fall out. So when there is a kali, that is the bud in the plant that and it's growing, uh, our parents tell us not to touch the bud because it would destroy it. Okay. So similarly, if a little boy is if a little boy is suppressed under restrictions, under restrictions he would not grow. So students, our tender plant won't bear any flower or fruit if it is crushed at the bud. Similarly, if a little boy is suppressed under restrictions, he would not grow. Am I clear? Please take down the screenshot. Please take down the screenshot, students. After that, two more questions are to be done. Yes, let's move on. Okay. Our next question is question number 6. What is the rhyme scheme of the poem The School Boy? Okay. What is the rhyme scheme of the poem The Schoolboy? We all know the what a rhyme scheme is, how we find the rhyme schemes in the poems, and what the rhyme scheme is in this poem. We have already discussed all these points while I was explaining the poem to you. The rhyme scheme of the poem is A, B, A, and B, B. Okay? A, B, A, and B, B. The rhyme scheme of the poem. Students, please take down the screenshot. Our last question is bit long. Please take down the screenshot. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on to the last question of this poem. After that, this particular topic would be finished. So, question number 7. This is an important question. What are the literary device? What are the literary device that are being used in the poem The School Boy? What are the literary devices that are being used in the poem The Schoolboy? So, students, this is going to be a long answer. So, I hope all of you pay attention to this. This one is an important question and a bit long. Blake who? William Blake makes use of several literary devices in the poem The Schoolboy. Okay? These include what? These include alliteration, there would be a comma, and alliteration and anaphora, and also wonderful example of metaphor. Okay, please highlight these literary devices, that is anaphora, alliteration and metaphor. These are the literary devices that are being used in the poem. Now, metaphor metaphor is seen in the last stanza. Metaphor is seen in the last stanza or lines of the just in the last line, not the stanza. Stanza would be incorrect. Last line of the poem as the speaker. Let me see. Is it visible? Yes. So, as the speaker compares his youth and happiness and happiness. Students, please take down the screenshot. This answer is a bit long, so it's going to be in continuation. I hope you have taken down the screenshot so that I could erase it. Okay. So, we were doing answer number 7. After happiness, there was comma, and then as well as his mental state while at school to the destruction to the destruction of a plant. Okay, this is all in an effort this is all in an effort to convince his parents that he shouldn't ever go to that he shouldn't ever go to ever have to go through ever have to go through the misery of school again. Okay, students. So, we were talking about a metaphor in this stanza. Now, the alliteration as well as his mental state while at school to the destruction of a plant. This is all in an effort to convince his parents that he shouldn't ever have to go through the misery of school again. Okay, now let's move on to alliteration. Please underline the word is another. Alliteration is another. Alliteration is another important literary device important literary device that appears throughout this poem. It helps to increase the rhyme and rhythm of the poem. Alliteration is another important literary device that appears throughout this poem. It helps to increase rhyme and rhythm of the poem. Students, please take down the screenshot. I hope all of you have taken down the screenshot. Example of alliteration, some examples. Skylark sings. I have already told you what an alliteration is in earlier topic also, the last bargain, and how to find it. Okay? Day and dismay by looking for the same consonant sound. Am I clear? These are some examples of alliteration. Now, anaphora. Okay, anaphora works in a similar way to alliteration. Similar way to alliteration. It can be seen It can be seen in the third stanza. In the third stanza, it can be seen in the third stanza with the repetition of with the repetition of with the repetition of nor at the beginning at the anaphora works in a similar way to alliteration. It can be seen in the third stanza with the repetition of nor at the beginning of two lines. Then again, in the fifth stanza, then again in the fifth stanza with and. I have already told you what an anaphora means and how to find them. Okay, so please take down the screenshot. So students, with this we have come to an end of this chapter also. In the next video, we would be doing the summit within. For now, our last two poems have been completed. So, I hope you are making notes. Please take down the screenshot. Keep writing these answers in your notebooks. I would be checking them soon. And till then, bye-bye. Take care.